Hawkman's origin makes no sense. Okay, so characters like Batman and Superman are so popular, not only because they're great characters, but because their origins are pretty easy to understand. Batman's origin's pretty easy to explain. He watched his parents get shot by a criminal, so now he dresses up as a bat and beats the crap out of bad guys. Yeah, it might not sound like the best coping mechanism to someone unfamiliar with him, but you can at least explain it in a sentence. Heck, Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman summarizes Superman's origin in just 4 panels and 8 words. On the other hand, good luck trying to explain Hawkman's origin to a family member or a friend. If you can actually make this character comprehensible to anyone you know, you deserve a Nobel Prize. Comics definitely have a perception of being overly complicated and hard to get into, and with characters like Hawkman, it's not hard to see why. Archaeologist Carter Hall is one of the many reincarnations of the Egyptian prince Khufu. Okay, so that's not too difficult to understand. So if it ended there, it wouldn't be that bad. But at some point, DC decided, you know Hawkman and a lot of other heroes? Yeah, you guys are from another Earth now. So DC created a second Hawkman that's basically a police officer from the planet Thanagar. Then Crisis on Infinite Earths happened and combined these 2 characters into one. Then DC said, hey, let's make another Hawkman. But he's basically the same character, except now the old Hawkman, who is now a combination of the 2 previous Hawkmen, yeah, let's make him a sleeper agent that was sent to conquer Earth. And then DC thought, wow, this new Hawkman is confusing, so let's bring back the old one. Wait, you mean that one that was on another Earth but then wasn't? Yep. But are we going to explain how he got back? Nope. Okay, cool. But wait, there's 2 Hawkmen now. Yup. So shouldn't we just, fuse them into one or something? Works for me. Then some guy named Charlie became Hawkman. Nope, Charlie's evil now? Whatever. Then Flashpoint happened, because Speed Force. Then the original Hawkman kinda came back. Then Dark Knight's Metal happened. Then Hawkman disappeared. Wait, where is he? Guarding the Forge World so that a giant bat demon can plunge a multiverse into the dark multiverse by singing a cosmically bass-boosted Metallica song? Oh, okay. You see, the problem with Hawkman is that there are so few good Hawkman runs in comics. Even though Hawkman's a decent enough character, his origin and his supporting cast aren't clearly defined. When we go into a Batman story, we kinda know what to expect. He's gonna be in Gotham City, he's got Alfred and the Bat family by his side, he's got an established rogues gallery. Same for Superman. He's got his co-workers at the Daily Planet, his rivalry with Lex Luthor, his family and friends in Smallville. You see what I'm getting at. Hawkman doesn't really have any of this. This leads to Hawkman writers trying to fix the character instead of telling interesting stories with him. Could you imagine if every Batman story was about how someone different killed his parents? Or could you imagine if every Superman story was about how he didn't really come from Krypton? No one comes in and tries to overhaul Batman's rogues gallery every time they start their run. I mean, they might make new characters, but they don't say, hey, you know the Joker? Yeah, he never existed. Hawkman has so little meaningful character development because everyone is so busy trying to explain where the heck he came from. Every time someone tries to untangle Hawkman's past, it just gets more messy. And this isn't a problem with just Hawkman. There are plenty of DC characters that writers try and fix each time they write them. Martian Manhunter's a great example. He's currently a big part of Scott Snyder's Justice League run, where Snyder revealed that he was abducted as a child and experimented on. And at the same time, Steve Orlando's new Martian Manhunter run revealed a whole lot of stuff about the lore of Mars. And you think either of these runs are going to mention the other? Nope. It's a shame because continuity is really important in comics. If no one else mentions that something happens, did it really matter in the end? If no one built off what comes before, then I feel like the stories lack a whole lot of stakes. Wonder Woman writers are also notoriously big offenders of the Hawkman problem. So Wonder Woman's origin has gone over a few changes over the years, but it's been mostly stable. But she lacks the defined supporting cast and setting like Batman and Superman. Even though she's a member of DC's big trinity, I feel like the general public doesn't know much about her. See, when the New 52 reboot happened, Brian Azzarello took over the book and basically changed everything about the character. Diana is now the daughter of Zeus, not just forged from clay and brought to life by Zeus. And her whole supporting cast got changed as well. This is actually my favorite Wonder Woman run because it feels like a family drama between the Greek gods. It's pretty great, but it changed a whole lot about Wonder Woman. Then the Finches took over the book and did some weird stuff with Donna Troy. Then Rebirth kicked off and Greg Rucka returned to DC, and he basically hated everything about Azzarello's run, so he retconned that out of existence. Then when Rucka left the book, James Robinson took over and introduced that Wonder Woman had a long-lost brother named Jason. And even though some of these runs are pretty good, some of them, they don't feel connected in any way. The writers take the character in way too different of a direction to actually allow the characters a chance to grow. But I think there's hope for Hawkman in the future. After Dark Knight's Metal, DC relaunched the Hawkman title with Robert Venditti in charge. And so far, the book has been pretty great. It's got this cool Indiana Jones style vibe that plays heavily into the archaeologist aspect of Hawkman's character. You see, Venditti had this genius idea of explaining that Hawkman didn't only reincarnate across time, he also reincarnates across space. So every version of Hawkman that existed before, they all exist, and they all make sense. Or as much sense as they can make. It turns out Hawkman has lived multiple lives on other planets, including places like Krypton. And even though the entire story is about fixing Hawkman's past, there is real character development in the book. We got this great team up between Hawkman and the Atom, showing that Hawkman still has connections in the DC universe. And plus, the whole story is really just a ton of fun to read. But if I can ask anything of writers out there working on characters with a complicated history, it's don't fall for the Hawkman problem. Just tell interesting stories with these characters that don't redefine who they are. Or, if you are going to fall for the Hawkman problem, at least do what Robert Vendetti's doing, because he seems to have things figured out.